Shabbat Shalom, Yasharallah, peace be unto the nation of Israel, whom all modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speckled Israelites, being Israelite foreigners, scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great, the main place for our captivity. We are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in Allah, Shema Kodash, being the Holy Tongue, as in the Paleo-Hebrew, being the ancient Hebrew, and we give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who was the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch, Badash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm Adam Mashana, Kabawadium, Lahasaquanium, Shalom, Little Overcome, many double honors to the apostles and elder bishops, great millstone, and Shalom, honor salutations to Bayashah Avodah, the house of David, along with the rest of the 1/3 elect men, women, and children of Israel. All right, it's your fellow servant Malak Rayab, and I'm going to share my screen. And go ahead and proceed with the second installment of the lesson entitled "The Sacrifice of the Wicked is an Abomination," and regarding a quote unquote nationwide fast that was called by the leader of WFI or Wi-Fi, all right, by the name of Naquam. All right, and how there's a further emphasize on the fact that that nationwide fast, or that call for a nationwide fast, is a wicked sacrifice, all right, brought forth with a wicked mind, as in a wicked, defiled conscience, okay, for the simple fact that, this man, Naquam, as the head of Wi-Fi, was guilty of the offense of impartiality and hypocrisy through his judgment, in terms of calling for this nationwide fast, to essentially, condone and endorse the wickedness of a vile act, that the former leader Sakari committed, which is a sin punishable by death. All right. And the receipts are out there, as I mentioned in the first part of this installment, or the first installment of this lesson, rather. So I honestly don't care to go into the details, because this lesson is not about that. Neither was the first installment about, the intricate details of the vile, detestable perverseness, that man committed. But yet you have these wayward Israelite leaders, or these leaders of these wayward Israelite camps, anyway, that have been publicly, condoning, endorsing, this guy, bigging him up, what I'm saying, and calling for mercy. Further, once again, showing their impartiality and their hypocrisy and judgment, because they have not, directed or exhibited the same courtesy, towards the leadership of Great Millstone on down. All right, in regards to them coming to our aid, coming to our justice, and defending us, from public ridicule when we're bringing out when we're defending the scriptures, man. Okay, especially the whole so-called rape doctrine, as a part of the marriage laws in Deuteronomy 22nd chapter, for example. All right, so see this whole so-called scandal thing with Alazar Bun lawyer, it just further exposed of the fake, phony, faithless, Israelites that are part of the body, because not everyone that calls himself an Israelite and, wears fringes is an Israelite of the Most High, Yahweh by Shemashai, and that's being further exposed. So I'm going to play a series of videos and filter everything to biblical prophecy and Adam Rock to be further edifying. It is ordered to elect, all right? And, saying, so I'm going to get started without further ado. All right, Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh by Shemashai Rakatah. All right, so I'm going to get started. All right, so this is go back to Naquam's video about the so-called nationwide fast announcement. All right, which is more self-willed presumptuousness, by the Jakes, wicked-minded, defiled conscious Jakes. Wicked defiled, wicked Jakes in the circumcision with a defiled conscience, bringing forth and producing these wicked sacrifices, all right, by way of the unfruitful works of darkness, because it's not these sacrifices they're calling for the justification of the wicked of Israel. It's not expedient for the salvation of Israel. All right, so I'm going to start this video.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watching for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts. And another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Malak Bashar. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in the truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahushua. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent, and they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to those men. Shalom to the Aquaf out there, the sincere sisters out there, diligent, zealous, and on fire, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men, the children, and the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to everybody tuning in live. Elijah Jones, Yazian David, Yehuda Israel, Don Israel Tamid, Jadis Delphius, Zoya Boers, Yvette McKellar, Sweet Styles, Yolanda Caesar, Tapua, Roy Israel, Nigel Blends, Shamar Yahawada, Yashab Rael, Yasha Alator Yakad, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yahweh Shemel Shah's not dealing with that, man. Through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, but I'm sure brothers may have seen it elsewhere, right? Or in other places through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And even if you're not part of a camp, then you should want to join in this nationwide fast. And it's not the first one we've done collectively, right, as a body. It's not just WFI. You see the many camps,
Yeah, so he's calling for this fast on the 9th. All right. And he claims that Yahweh Shemel Shah has given him the authority to call for this nationwide fast. But you're just a young upstart, man. You are a young upstart novice. Okay. You're still wet behind the ears. All right. And is and is not and is untrustworthy in judging right and judging matters righteously. All right, because you're abstaining from judging matters righteously through impartiality, which is unfair bias or favoritism. All right, which is wickedness, because just because you like somebody or you favor somebody over the other does not justify impartial judgment. And this is the offense that you've been guilty of in these other camp leaders in these wayward camps. All right. So anyway, I'll digress.
Who responded in haste, man, right? With diligence and all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shah for that, man, right? And many congregations that are promoted, that reached out, that said, I'm down, let's do it, let me know when. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to, do that in the last days, man, through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And I know I'm being long-winded, prior to the precept, but I got to preface this, with this. A lot of people think there's a lot of division in Israel, man. Right? Well, why the camp's so divided? Well, how come these guys don't get with these guys? You guys are like gangbangers. You're nothing like, whatever. Right? That's what they say. But I mean, this proves otherwise.
Right.
It
Anyway, man. So
a lot of murmuring.
He, like you said, we're doing a lot of long-winded, passive aggressive, subliminal, spewing, a lot of vanity, in terms of, further, directly speaking on whom he was calling this nationwide fast. By way of his talking points, he was talking about the former leader of Sakari. We all know who that is. Who's in the body, right? So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and segue over to this particular mark of the video and continue on to the 6-minute mark. All right, before I go ahead and get to the other videos.
Backbiting, whispering, we will always come together, right, in times of distress, man. You got a lot of spirits going on in Israel.
So where was it come together when the men of Great Millstone, the leadership of Great Millstone on down was being bombarded with grape allegations and these other false reports that is forbidden in the law, pursuant to Exodus 23:1, but yet nobody came to our aid, man. You same camp leaders of these wayward camps and the other reprobates supporting these camps, especially you silly, laden, clamorous women who shouldn't be speaking at all, coming on the comment boards and making videos on social media advocating the wickedness of this individual, Alazar Bonloya, and other wicked, Israelite leaders, of these wayward camps. All right. Mainly dealing with the leadership, of these wayward camps did not come to our aid. Okay, so you further shown impartiality and hypocrisy and judgment. Okay, because when we were just breaking down the scriptures, we breaking down the scriptures correctly, mind you, especially on the so-called grape doctrine in terms of um, you know lawfully handling the matter of grape, all right, integrated within the marriage laws in Deuteronomy 22nd chapter. And then, like I said, the first installment, I myself have done a recent lesson on that. We continue to bring this information out through the sound doctrine. Okay, crying aloud and sparing none. That has offended a lot of you jigs because you still have that Western mentality. Further confirm we never truly unconformed from this Western world. All right. As it says in St. Matthew, the 6th chapter, where a man's heart is, there a treasure lies, roughly paraphrasing. All right. And you Jakes have received a consolation on the side because a good number of you sold out by taking that Judas purse. Whether you've sold out or not to Esau's government, you in terms of being an agent for the Esau's government, you're an agent for Shaitan. If you come against the true man of the Lord, all right, or contend with the sound doctrine anyway, because this guy here in the Quam of Wi-Fi, has been has been notorious for speaking out against the mark of the beast being a chip. All right, so he's clearly a false prophet, and then he has and now he's calling for a nationwide fast, for Jake that willfully sinned. All right, so of a sin that's punishable by death. All right, but we'll continue more of this.
A lot of vainglory going on. You got a lot of murmuring, backbiting, whispering, folly, vanity, right? Madness, lust, evil, murder, hatred, variance, emulation, sedition. You got many spirits just running rampant in the nation, man. I mean, this stuff is madness, man. It's absolute madness. It's actually I'm almost confounded, but I'm not, because I know a Negro, man. We know you Negroes, man. Right? And your spirit ain't right, man. Right? We know you Negroes, man. We see you a mile away, right? And a lot of Jake, your spirit ain't right, man. Right? This vainglory spirit, I gotta be seen, gotta get the views, gotta build off this attention. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. People gotta know me, they gotta recognize me. I hate him, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yahweh Shah's not dealing with that, man. Right? The Most High's not dealing with vanity. You got a whole book in Ecclesiastes dedicated to vanity, man. Now this is Zechariah 7, so we got to purge out these spirits, man. Right? We got to purge out this leaven out the body, right?
I'm gonna jump over to a 12-minute mark.
Even if you think you're righteous, right? Guess what? The Most High said you're barely going to make it. And see. Exalt yourself. This ain't the time. This ain't the time to be dabbling in secret sin and leaven. This ain't the time to be slothful. This ain't the time to be lukewarm. This ain't the time to have your hand on the plow half of the time, then the other half of the time it's in the world.
But you're a hypocrite, because the man that you're calling this nationwide fast for has publicly hinted at possibly removing his hand off the plow. He said he's just going to disappear. He said he's not sure when he's going to come back. So where is this where is this same energy that you have exhibited towards the men of Great Millstone on down towards this man? Okay, for all the wickedness that he's done over the last 10 to 15 years. All right, and coming before his congregation live and hinting at removing his hand from the plow. So where is the open rebuke against that? Because that's wickedness, man. That's abandoning the sheep. All right. Yahweh Shai asked Apostle Peter 3 times, if he loved him, just to further emphasize the fact on what true love is, and keeping the law, statutes, commandments. A part of keeping the law, statutes, commandments is being a true watchman, watching over the nation of Israel by feeding them with the food that's convenient for them. All right. How do you do that? By keeping watch over the sheep. How can you keep watch over the sheep if you abandon your post? And this is what the man that you call this nationwide fast for had hinted at doing. Okay. So I'm going to continue this. So all these unfruitful works of darkness that he was speaking about is what he's accusing us of in a very passive aggressive subliminal way. And like they say in the world, say it with your chest, man. Be a man. Okay. Don't throw a fucking rock and hide your hand. All right. We call names over here. It is not because we, saying, we Billy badasses and, what I'm saying, we super tough guys. We're just men. Nothing more, nothing less. So Isaiah 46:8 speaks about us being men. The Lord is calling for men in this thing, man. So I'm going to play a little bit more of this. Then I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the 15-minute mark, and that'll be it for this video before I continue.
This ain't that time, huh?
Before I actually do that, let me go ahead and get this grab this quick precept. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and 17 in the NIV. It says, "Do not show partiality in judging. Hear both small and great alike." Okay, so a righteous judge, is supposed to assess, the matter of a particular subject dealing with the scriptures on both sides of the spectrum, not one side of the spectrum because you favor that. You favor one side of a man or men in a particular camp over another one. That's wickedness. Okay. I've heard of El Apostle Har side with, Sakari and, many times, for correctly breaking down the scriptures when in certain cases, like they say in the world, you got to give credit where credit is due. All right. But that's not the spirit a lot of you Jakes come in, man. All right. Because you still have that. You're still under Esau's enchantment, under this Western mentality where you don't like to hold yourself accountable, just like an Edomite, just like a woman, just like a child. All right. And the 1 Corinthians 13:11 speaks about how we're supposed to, put off childish things when we become men. And the part of putting off childish things is putting off unaccountability like a child does. All right. When you're a parent and you discipline your child, or you're a parent and you confront, your child about doing something wicked, and they plead the fifth, so to say. Okay. That's a trait of a child. Okay. Somebody, a very immature mind frame of thinking is associated with a child and a woman and an Edomite. All right, we're men, we're Israelite men, so we're not supposed to be that mentality. But anyway, it says Deuteronomy 1 and 17 NIV from the top. Do not show partiality in judging. Hear both small and great alike. Do not be afraid of anyone. All right. It says, for judgment belongs to the Most High, Yahweh by Shemeshai. Bring me any case too hard for you, and I will hear it. Okay, Yahweh by Shemeshai is our rock. And he said he would never lay anything on us more harder than we can handle, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, case in point. All right, so we're not supposed to be afraid of anyone when we're do righteous judgment. Okay, that's a part of standing bold like a lion, and as it says in Isaiah 58:1. And sparing not, sparing none, as in sparing no feelings, and just telling you how it is. And this is why, we're hated. That's why Yahushua was hated. Okay, so we grab this quick precept of this definition of partiality. It says unfair bias in favor of one thing or person compared with another, favoritism. That's why a lot of you Jakes and these wayward camps do unity camps, and a lot of turmoil happens, through skirmishes and so forth, because you're being rebellious, man. You're being rebellious against the Holy Spirit of the Word. The rebellion against the Holy Spirit, is witchcraft, as it says in 1 Samuel the 15th chapter. All right. So if you're not, case in point, if you're not doing with this, if you're not, living through this, through the sound doctrine, okay, as opposed to just preaching it, all right, you're not being a righteous judge. Okay. Pursuing 1 Corinthians 9 and 14, we're supposed to live the doctrine. This doctrine is a lifestyle. It's not just word of mouth to be seen of men for vainglory and clout and so forth. All right, so this is why this nationwide fast that the Quran called for is a wicked sacrifice brought forward with the wicked mind of a wicked and defiled conscience. Okay, subliminally condoning and endorsing the wickedness of the man that he called this nationwide fast for. So he's going to give Proverbs 11 and 9. It says, "An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered." The true knowledge. True divine wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures, man, of everything that is written, especially in terms of how we're supposed to judge matters. Okay. Let me get this quick precept. Deuteronomy 25 and 1. All right, it says, if there be a controversy between men and they come into judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. Okay, and with no partiality involved. Okay, is there no unfair bias or favoritism involved? If a man that you like is going off, you're supposed to rebuke him, man. Okay, which is love. That's what it says in Proverbs 27:5. How open rebuke is better than secret love. Okay, and there's receipts of the leadership of a great millstone on down rebuking Alazar Bun lawyer for at least 10 years. Just go and pull it up, man. Because unlike your empty, libelous, baseless accusations of us being rapists and so forth, just because you disagree with our direct and perceived harsh breakdown of Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, and certain other prophecies, okay, because you despise our delivery of the prophecies that are written in the scriptures or whatever the case may be. All right, you're guilty of being impartial in judgment. All right, which is quite frankly effeminate, man. All right, because because we like I said, there's receipts of this man Alazar Bun lawyer being rebuked. All right, as you can see here, this is a video from at least 10 years ago. All right, from the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Okay, as you can see here, the date is January 14, 2015. So these are receipts of this guy being rebuked for all the wickedness that he's done, all the blasphemies and all the blasphemies against the Holy Spirit that he's been guilty of. Okay, here's another video. More receipts of open rebuke, being synonymous with love, openly rebuking this guy for going off, man, in the scriptures and through his unruly conduct. So this is a video posted by the beloved brother Maya Ka'al out there in GMSLA. And this is posted on January 19, 2015. This is also 10 years ago. So this guy has been rebuked at least for a minimum of at least 10 years. It's been more than that, but here are the receipts to confirm that we've been rebuking this guy for at least 10 years, man. Okay, specifically starting with with the leadership of Great Millstone on down. Okay, so that is what love is, man. Not showing impartiality and judgment like you Israelite camps, Israelite leaders in these wayward camps are guilty of. It says Deuteronomy 25:1. If there be a controversy between men and they come into judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. All right. So what constitutes righteousness and what constitutes wickedness? Okay, what is what is written in the scriptures? Okay, any error against the righteous instruction of the scriptures is wickedness. All right, and the contrary is righteousness. It's very simple. Okay, if you follow that blueprint, as it says in Joshua 1:8, you have success. If not, you will be confounded, and even to the point of your detriment, man. And this is a warning for the whole body. This is why these epistles go out. Okay. So this is let's go ahead and segue over to Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19 and 15. All right, we did another example of judging the right way. All right, and not judging impartially just because you like someone or whatever the case. So this is Leviticus 19 and 15. It says, "Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. Okay, but in righteousness shall thou judge thy neighbor." All right, all right, neighbor is synonymous with brother. But it says in Jeremiah 9:4, not every brother is a brother, man. Roughly paraphrasing, which I brought out in the first installment, because of a man's unfruitful works of darkness. Okay, being the deeds that constitutes him to not be a brother, as in an Israelite of the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Okay, so because Yahweh B'Shem, we're not about quantity over quality. Because our power, Yahweh B'Shem Shai, is not does not condone quantity over quality. Okay, so this is further confirms that there's ulterior motives of these Israelite leaders in these wayward camps. Because a lot of them, they have these, a case in point, I'm saying, there's a video that is posted by Elder Manata Zakba addressing comments General Yohana made, about how, prior to, Elder Apostle Tahar, there, people weren't ridiculing and persecuting the Israelites, which is a goddamn lie. Okay. There's been Israelites that have been attacked, okay, on the highways and hedges, that were more seasoned in the truth than El Apostle Tahar. Okay, and I'm not going to name any names, but I can't even recall his name right now. I can speculate who it is, but one of the elders of the apostles, I believe was he was poked up, man. I believe he lost his life. So this guy was just spewing lies because why? He's further guilty of the offense of showing impartiality toward this guy. Okay. And he wasn't crying live because he was sincerely repenting. He was crying because he got caught, like it says in the world. You're not crying because you're sorry. You're crying because you got caught. Okay, just like a child or a woman. Okay, when they get caught doing wickedness, one of the main coping mechanisms the main defense mechanisms they rely on is crying, so they can trigger your emotions, to cause to benefit off of sensationalism. So we're logical men. All right, we're not emotional. That's why we've been entrusted to defend the gospel. All right. There was a comment that I was gonna look for, but kind of escaped me. But yeah, but somebody has said that this guy was, he's been advocating carnality. You see, Zechariah La Remnant Seeker Ba said, last I checked, GMS was marching around by the hundreds holding up traffic, and you wayward camps, okay, such as ISUPK and IUIC under this this militant pro black pro Black Panther revolutionary spirit, okay, is a carnal spirit. Okay, that's not of Yahweh by Shem Shai, man. Yahweh Shai said, I send you out to be, I send you out in the midst of wolves. Be ye harmless as a dove, and wise as a serpent. Roughly paraphrasing. So we're not out there to look, hence we're not out there to look tough and be tough and and so forth. We're just out there, to stand boldly like a man in righteousness and be used by Yahweh by Shem Shai to tear down strongholds and stumbling blocks. And if you get offended, okay, whether you have the circumcision or not, you're a part of the problem. Okay, especially where you wicked Israelite leaders of these wayward camps that are being exposed. Okay, all right, including this guy. You're getting ready to get exposed momentarily, man. Okay, including Bishop Nate and these other false prophets about all of the circumcision. All right. So let's go back to the to Leviticus 19. It says Leviticus 19:15, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. All right, verse 16 says, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer, okay, among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai. So this is a commandment, okay, that this man here was guilty of, by being a talebearer and exposing secrets of another man, all because he exposed his secrets, which is impartial judgment. In this case, rather, it's hypocritical judgment, because him exposing that further indicates that he knew the wickedness that that man was doing. What's the name? I believe he goes by the name of Ariella out there in Sakari, Philadelphia. Whether he's still in the camp, in their camp or not, it was just a messy situation, man. And he exhibited traits and characteristics of someone who is not a leader. Okay, throwing somebody under the bus because you got thrown under the bus. But this is the man that Naquam is calling a nationwide fast for, and a lot of you reprobate Israelites are condoning, okay, and endorsing. So Anyway, grab another precept. All right, so I'm going to grab Sirach 32 and 17. All right. This is Sirach 32 and 17, Salakia. Sirach 32 and 17 says, a sinful man will not be reproved, okay, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that's all that was seen, you know, when the former leader Sakari was going through his little testimony, you know, he's being double-minded, you know, by denying the allegation brought upon him, but then, you know, hinting that he was guilty of the offense, and then announcing that he was going to step down. So if you're innocent, why would you step down? It doesn't add up. Okay, why? Because it says in I believe Sirach 26 and 4, his conscience was defiled because he was guilty of the allegations that were brought upon him. See, we judge. This further confirms that we judge matters spiritually, man. Okay, that you have wicked 2/3 niggas and nigga women. I just say you just straightforward like that are part of this body. Okay, all right, knowing they're Israelites, but they're defiled inside. They were never truly baptized, okay, with the Holy Spirit. So they judge matters unjustly because the people that they look to for counsel of the circumcision are judging matters unjustly. Okay, so it says in Sirach 32:17, a sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. Okay, so and that's who you Jakes are following, man. Okay, if we go off or just own it, all right, but yeah, we get ridiculed for coming out of the scriptures and defending the gospel. Okay, and this is why, once again, what happened with that man, all right, former leader Sakari, and I say man loosely, it was a further exhibition of the power of Yahweh Shemeshai to further weed out the undesirables of Israel. Okay, so this is before I go ahead and play the other videos, I'm going to grab a few more precepts here. Sirach 13 and 16. All right. Sirach 13 and 16 says, all flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. So men, and including mankind, okay, will cleave to their like, man. You see? All right, that's why they, another reminds me of a saying in the world, misery loves company. You see, and that's why all you Jakes are, flocking to this guy because he got rebuked for doing something vile and wicked. Okay, and willfully did it, and made an excuse for willfully doing it on camera, despite the receipts, okay, the substantial evidence, if you will, and the witnesses, okay, because there's more than 2 witnesses that came out, at least a minimum of 2 witnesses, and according to our law, that's all that was required to further assess and judge a matter accordingly. Okay, so as I mentioned in the first installment, whether what's the name, the dude that exposed Alazar, was sincerely exposing them for the sake of defending the gospel or not, is besides the point, for the fact that the Lord, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, is the ultimate chess player. Okay, so he's the one that wanted, this man's wickedness to be put on Front Street, as it says in Yahushua said in St. Luke 12 and 2. All right, everything that's done in the dark shall come to light. Roughly paraphrasing, you see, and it's all for the and there's another reminder of that second Ezra's 16 and 19, I believe. It speaks about the scourges for amendment, as in the afflictions for correction. Okay, that are typically bestowed upon the wicked of the world as examples to the righteous on how to live and how not to conduct oneself. Okay, so This is Sirach 13:16. It says, all flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Okay? What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? Okay? And we're lambs, we're sheep. Okay, we're vulnerable animals. Okay, dwelling in the midst of wolves, as Yahushua said that he would send us out in the midst of these wolves. See, where the godly would have to coexist with the sinner, but not cohabitate with them. Okay, not congregate with them. So we're not going to go on these podcasts and whatnot, and congregate with these evildoers, or even these wayward camps, and and join up with them and do unity camps. That's being impartial in judgment. Okay. So as I said in Sirach 13:16, you have many that will consort to their like, including the wicked with the wicked. Okay. So here, I'm gonna bring out a couple, a few more examples on that, through a few more videos, right? Because you have this reprobate here, Abu, who doesn't even believe in the solid foundation of the scriptures, is anyhow by Shemeshah, but yet he was also advocating supplications for Alazar's wickedness. It says, pray for Alazar. You have brothers, saying, cutting them on the comment board, including your brother Tazabal Moth out there in Phoenix. Okay. And the elder out there in the main camp, GMS rebuked the tempter. You know what I'm saying? And, Abu's being, deceitful, crafty snake that he is. I'm not even going to focus on him because he's not even in the body. I want to focus on Jake that's in the body defending his madness. All right. But yet they come against us for defending the gospel. So this is, let me see. Yeah, so I'm gonna play some of his madness. This nigga woman, being rambunctious and clamorous, overly clamorous and rambunctious and clamorous, within her efforts to defend Alazar's madness. Okay. Just further confirms that Jake doesn't believe, man. All right. So I'm going to play this.
All praises to the Most High. Torah Rabba Abba for another day. I just had to say this. All praises to the Most High for men like Gorilla to hold himself accountable for anything he did that is not of the Most High.
He didn't hold himself accountable. He went on live and did not hold himself accountable by denouncing the vile act that he was guilty of. And then in the same breath, simultaneously hinting or admitting, subliminally that he was guilty of the act. Okay, and then stepping down to solidify that he was conscious of the vile act that he willfully committed. So how the hell did he? I'm gonna continue, man. And see, that's why you women, is not supposed to be speaking. Okay, especially nigga woman, man. Not you, princesses of Zion, the Akwath. Okay, because you bitches that defended these niggas, you're not of the Akwath, man. Okay. Now, if this man, this man repents behind closed doors and Yahweh Shemeshai forgives him, all praise to Yahweh Shemeshai. But that doesn't mean that we're going to be impartial in judgment and neglect rebuking somebody who goes off in the scriptures publicly. Because that's open rebuke is better. Open rebuke is better than secret love, man. Now, the contrary of that is not showing love. If you see somebody doing wickedness and you don't address it to them, you're not exhibiting love, man. That's a stumbling block to Jake. So I digress.
See, a lot of y'all be so quick to throw it under the bus or say some shit about him, but your little sins you got, right? Only the Most High know about them, right? You don't confess your sins. You don't hold yourself accountable. You just walk around here high and mighty like you better than everybody else. You don't sin. Nobody can cast no stones at y'all, right? Y'all be the main ones, the ones that's trying to point the finger at Gorilla like he a wrong man, like he a wicked man or something.
He is a wrong man. He is a wrong man. What the fuck you talking about? That was a vile act that he committed. Hence why it was wrong. That's why he got called out for it. You see? So if you call out the wickedness of a Jake's favorite teacher, or what I'm saying, you're going off. You're not being brotherly.
Whatever the fuck y'all
that's a plantation Christianity mindset, man.
I'm gonna say, nigga came out and said what the he did wrong and what he did right. And I dare you to walk in the same shoes. I dare you to be as brave as Gorilla has been. You ain't got the balls or the courage or the audacity to take full responsibility or accountability for the things that you do wrong, whether you were exposed or not. Some of y'all wait until y'all exposed and still be on some shit like you ain't even do nothing wrong.
She's a hypocrite. She just described Elazar. See, that's why you women need to be quiet, man. You're clamorous. Okay, the more you talk, the more you put your foot in your mouth. You just cut yourself with that statement.
It takes a strong man to tell the world he's wrong, he's sorry. You know what I'm saying? And then express his emotions in a world where men are not allowed to express their emotions. Every time a man does that, y'all call weak, y'all pussy, y'all this and that. It takes a strong man to do some shit like that. He's not doing that shit. Sit up behind these screens, act all high and mighty, like you know, you God yourself. You don't make mistakes. You don't fuck up. It's about how he's getting back up with the Most High. See, y'all not looking at the message here. May Gorilla be Most High, the man that shows these freaking ignorant Israelites. I can't stand y'all. I love y'all, but I can't stand y'all.
You don't love us, man. Love what is love in the scriptures, man? When Jake says you wayward, you wicked, double-minded, hypocritical Jake say that you love us, you're talking about Esau's Western, watered-down, sensationalized version or perception of love, and that's associated with plantation Christianity. That's why Hocab finally did a video of you know what I'm saying, of of the whole scandal, with the gorilla, okay, saying and advocating love and how you basically using the same talking points that Sonetta was using, and how we're being hypocrites because we're not supposedly showing love to our brother, and we're the first ones to turn on him when the shoes on the other foot. You niggas didn't exhibit the same courtesy towards us when he was coming against us for supposedly being rapists. You condoned, you endorsed it, you egged it on from your impartial judgment and your hypocrites, man. The Lord ain't dealing with y'all, man. Okay, so all the enemies of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is getting exposed, and they're being divided in most cases. Another example of that is these two clowns, New Breed and Ringo TV. Now they're two YouTubers that believe that know they're Israelites. Now at one time they were buddy, and they were simultaneously coming against against the men of Great Millstone on down, and the faithful and the like-minded Aki, pushing the same sound doctrine. You know what I'm saying, by using this whole community situation, or guys to supposedly justify how we're unbrotherly and how we're divisive. Okay, because because we're supposedly camp bangers and so forth, and and we're not productive Israelites because we're not building schools and shit. Like that clown on No Jumper, when he was debating Alazar, he said that he believes that the condom hats with the Shirley Temple curls, would appear to be more of the Lord's chosen people because of building communities and shit. That's a strong stumbling block to Jake. So you have these two clowns, Ringo TV and New Breed, using that snare, okay, the whole community snare, okay, and being facetious, referring to the word community, you know what I'm saying, and when Yahushua said in Matthew 23:2 that not one stone should be left unturned, roughly paraphrasing, okay, meaning what? Everything in the path of Yahushua except for the elect will be destroyed. And that's why Yahweh Shemashai is breaking up you scoffs and scorners, especially those who teams up against us, like Ringo and New Breed. Now they're beefing. Look at Alazar and Hakah and what's the name, Hassad. Okay, they're not on one accord right now, but they were so buddy at one point coming against us. You see how that shit works? Okay, and that's going to continue to happen, man. For further example, so I'm not complaining more of this madness. The point is made there. you have some other clowns, some other reprobates. You know, I don't even know who these jakes are, but you know, the elder Karate Zaba uploaded a video on these guys. You know, becoming, coming against us, for the whole great doctrine, quote unquote, aspect of the marriage laws, because Jake is sensitive. They're not. They're weak. They're soft and they're naive. Okay, because their minds are still westernized, man. And further indication that they have not been baptized in the Holy Spirit. Case in point. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much that on the videos. I might go back and play this again. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to the Qualms video. I'm gonna jump over to the 15-minute mark, and that'll be that for this video.
Bear. Not using Israel as a damn Wendy Williams show. This isn't damn the red table talk. You niggas make me sick, man.
So he's calling us niggas, okay, for supposedly being guilty of the unfruitful works of darkness because we rebuked Jake openly. But this same energy, this same public ridicule and condemnation is not reciprocated towards the actual men of Israel who are guilty of these offenses, of these unfruitful works of darkness that he spoke about. All right. So yeah. So with that, that's pretty much. I'm gonna play. We'll play a little bit more.
Things, damn gossip, the red table talk, the damn view. You heard what this brother did. You heard what this sister did. Oh, let me make a video about it. Oh, let me get my views up. Oh, this is the hot topic. Let me talk about it. Yahweh's not dealing with you damn niggas, man. Get your spirit right. And focus, man. Tap in, lock in. This place about to go down. Get your spirit right. This is Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse number 6. He said, furthermore unto me, son of man, seest thou what they do? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. So the men of the Lord, like Ezekiel, Daniel, Jeremiah, Zephaniah, Habakkuk, a lot of these men were contemporaries, right, during the Babylonian captivity, the exile, right? And while they were doing the ministry, you had wickedness going on in Israel, man. And not only the Most High know. So he had to bring Ezekiel and say, I'm going to show you the wickedness that's going on in Israel right now. Right? I'm going to show you what's going on. You may not know, but I'm going to show you what's going on behind the scenes. Verse number 7. And he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold a door. And he said unto me, go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do.
Enough of this. Enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play beginning of this video of Jeremy Yohana blaming GMS for camp hatred and for the quote unquote sexual deviancy that we've been accused of, that they have not been able to substantiate through any precepts, supposedly being the reason why, or the influence of the former leader Sakari, being brought up on charges of sexual deviancy, actual sexual deviancy, all right, through the fornication, that's forbidden in the scriptures, all right, in terms of that specific vile act that he committed, which receipts are out there, so, and which is not hard to find, all right. So, continue.
When it comes to these damn groups out, you understand, I don't want nothing to do with them unless they're giving up all flags and bringing their body into under the truth, because of course 90% of this shit is born out of selfishness, out of looking for power, out of sexual deviancy, and you just destroying the work of the Lord.
Okay. And I just want to, before I go and continue, Salakia, go ahead and I'm going to say Shalom to Akim and Akwat on the comment board. Yahweh Shemeshai Brakathum Wa Shamar Il Atha Wa Brakatan. All right. So that means, of course, our praises to Yahweh Shemeshai, and blessings to you, Akim, tuning in. And Shamar Il Atha means hear or watch over you. Wa and Barak Athan, bless the sisters. Okay, so Yahweh Shemeshai Brakathum. All right, for tuning in. Let me get some of these precepts here. All right, Con. Let me see. Brother Aziala lighting it up, man. At the water, Shalom. Let me see. Brother lighting up the altar. I'm not gonna get all of them at the moment because I got quite a bit I got to bring out. Yep, brother put Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. So she really that nigga woman wasn't. That was the obviously a Sakari supporter. Wasn't teaching. To be fair, she was just mouthing off. She's being clamorous. Okay. Which is not expedient for her own salvation, because that's what ended up causing Moses' sister, what's her name, Miriam, to get to become leprous. Okay, for speaking out of turn, all right, being wicked, being unruly and out of order. Job 39:17, same brother, because the Most High Yahweh by Shemeshai had deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted to her understanding. Okay, because that's why you women are the weaker vessel. All right, so you're not in a position to teach anyone, or express your opinion, because your speech, which is an extension of your thought process, is predicated off of sheer emotion. Case in point. All right. Yeah, good stuff, man. So let me get this fire right here. Let me say Matthew 7:17. It's like verse 16 says, "Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?" Verse 17 says, "Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit." So this nigga woman, Shikari supporter, running her goddamn mouth in this video, or is it is a further public example of evil fruit. All right, produced by this evil tree of Shikari. Case in point. So go back and finish it. Say Matthew 7:18 says, "A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit." It says in verse 19, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. All right, and this is exactly what's happening to these wayward camps, including Shikari at this point, man. St. Matthew 7:20 says, "Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them." It's very plain. All right. So all right, so let's get back, man. Let's get back to let me see. I believe there's another video I wanted to bring out. Before I continue with Johanna's madness, let me get back to the precepts here. All right. Let me continue in Exodus 23:2. All right. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. It says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment." Now let's get this in NLT. All right. That's exactly what you Jakes are doing. All right, of these wayward camps. All right, by advocating the public support of a wicked of wicked trees producing wicked fruit. All right, this is let me see. Yep, Exodus 23:2 in the NIV. It says, "Do not follow the crowd in doing wrong." What did she say? Let's rewind a little bit. You know, what she say? He wasn't doing anything wrong. Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that a little bit.
Every time a man does that, y'all call weak, y'all pussy, y'all this and that. It takes a strong man to do some shit like that. Is not doing that shit. Sit up behind these screens, act all high and mighty, like you know, you God yourself. You don't make mistakes. You don't fuck up. It's about how he's getting back up with the Most High. See, y'all not looking at the message here. May Gorilla be Most High, the man that shows these freaking ignorant.
I don't know which. I don't remember what she said. It. I'm like, you know, I ain't gonna worry about it. But she said he's not doing anything wrong. Well, I mean, you're not. Then you're wicked because you're not assessing the matter righteously. Okay, you know you're a woman. You know there's akwath that are gonna make it. You're not of the akwath. Okay, at least it doesn't appear to be. And if you don't repent, Yahweh Shemashai is going to destroy you, man. Okay, this is Exodus 23:2 in the NIV. It said, "Do not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you give testimony in a lawsuit, do not pervert justice by siding with the crowd." If you be in a case in point, just to paint the picture, you could be in a courtroom, and there's somebody who who's committing mass deletions, and I ain't gonna say the M word because Esau's a damn mo, and he has his censorship and shit. So, but you have red rum. I'll say it backwards. For those who catch my drift, if you can have a man that's guilty for red rum, and you can have a whole crowd behind him, okay, calling for his innocence. Okay, case in point. And then you have the judge that perverts justice because they're influenced by the crowd, and or have their own ulterior motives in assessing the matter through impartiality, which is what? Favoritism. Okay. And just despite whatever the scenario, how the scenario presents itself, that's a perfect example, okay, of testimonies in a lawsuit being discarded and disregarded due to right judgment, not wrong judgment, but right judgment being perverted by impartiality. That's how wickedness. Spreads. Okay, and that's prevalent in Israel, man. Right, and this is why, what it says in Sirach 13:16. They consort. Everyone consorts to their like, including the wicked. All right, this is Sirach 9:11. All right, grab that real quick. Sirach 9:11. And it says, "Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end." You see? So you publicly advocating the so-called innocence of a wicked doer who willfully, committed abominations and wickedness time and time again, and specifically this particular act that just put a stain on his name, as it says in Sirach 33:22, and you're still advocating support for that individual, then you're wicked because you're glorifying the particular sins of that offender, okay, in the law. Because what he was with that sin that he was guilty of, that he was brought up on charges for, lining up what it said in Exodus 23:2 in the NIV, okay, was punishable by death, man. Okay. And those in the know knows what that is. That's a sin punishable by death, and you neglect that that's the case according to the law. You're wicked as hell, man. And see, a lot of you women. Let's see. That's another reason to another component of the matter is that a lot of you women. That's why a lot of you women have mo friends. They like have another homegirl in the mix. Okay, I'm leave it at that. but you're wicked, man. Because like Eve, that's why Esau knew to make Jake the face of Moism, sodomy, through the Tyler Perrys of the world. You know what I'm saying, and so forth. Okay, because Jake has the wickedness of Jake has farly exceeded the wickedness of Esau in these other nations, as it speaks about in Jeremiah 5:28. But it says here in Sirach 9:11, envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. All right. So with that, let's grab verse 12. All right. It said, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished into their grave. You see, so this man, the former leader of Sakari, had pleasure in something that was extremely wicked and detestable. And the reason why, like I said in the first installment of the lesson, the reason why we really got on him so harshly is because he was coming at us falsely, unjustifiably rather, through false accusations of us supposedly misinterpreting, the grape aspect of the marriage laws. Okay. And the laws of military service, where we could snatch up a concubine, in the midst of war against the nations and so forth, and that's biblically written. And so we were ridiculed by him. Okay, just using him as further example of supposedly being sexual deviants because of that supposed perceived misinterpretation of the grape aspect of the marriage laws in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. But lo and behold, he fell on his own sword, okay, by committing actual sexual deviancy behind closed doors, and Yahweh Shemeshai, bringing that to the light, to the forefront, because Yahweh Shemeshai has a sense of humor, man. The same fate that met brother Polite, bro Polite, or brother Polite, who is now sister Polite in the pen. Okay, probably washing Bobo's drawers by now. Yeah, we're gonna speak to you, Jakes, in a mocking manner. It says in Isaiah 20:11, speak to these people with stammering lips, man, because you deserve it. All right, because you're wicked and you love to have it so, man. Sirach 9:12 from the top said, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished into their grave. So it's going to continue. All right, that's a well-known fact. All right, this is 2 John chapter 1 and 10. And it reads, if there come any into you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. All right, I'm gonna get that in the NLT in a moment. It says in verse 11, for he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds. So if you advocate public support or any kind of support for a wicked doer, a willful wicked doer or sinner, you're partaking in their evil deeds. So this is why this nationwide fast that Naquan was calling for is a wicked sacrifice, man, because it's brought forward with a wicked, defiled conscience. Because he knows what Alazar did, but did he rebuke him openly? I haven't heard him rebuke him openly. You know what he did instead? Call for this nationwide fast. You can't make this shit up, man. Jake is wicked, man. But yeah, we're wicked though. See what they do with these accusations, such as a suggestion that we're wicked is projecting. There's a lot of projecting in Israel. Was further examples of that. What happened to Brother Polite, and what recently happened to the gorilla. See, so this is why these epistles go out, because it's a part of the edification and the exhortation. And part of the exhortation is it's further issuing out warnings by blowing a trumpet. You sounding that certain sound of that trumpet, man. Just like we did in the ancient world with the ram's horn. When we would sound the ram's horn in war, we let off we let off a certain sound of war, of alarm. That's what we're doing when we bring out these epistles, to warn our people from to abstain from wickedness, man. And it starts with us, so we can not be guilty of the offense of hypocrisy, like the man on the screen here. This guy getting back on the screen. Okay, Salakia. Go back there. You know, this individual here, you know, and this guy. You've been spewing all kinds of madness over the past years. You know, speaking of sodomy, okay, this guy said that you can commit sodomy with your wife. That's clearly wicked, man. That's sodomy. So, how should I say in St. Matthew 5:19? They teach men to do these least commandments. You know, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Salakia. All right, St. Matthew 5:19. I'm gonna get Second John in NLT momentarily. Right after I get this one, St. Matthew 5:19. All right, it says, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." All right. You know, so yeah, we teach the law, statutes, commandments, but we're not adamant about the law as if that's the end all be all of this doctrine. We understand it starts and ends with the Yahweh Shai, because he's Alpha and Omega. And the end is going to come for you wicked doers, because you're going to be destroyed, okay? Especially those who take that chip, all right, in these last days, that MOTB, all right, the mark of the beast in Revelation 13. So let's go ahead and get 2 John 1 and 10 to 11 in the let me see. We get in the NOT. You know what, Salakia? Yeah, I'm gonna get this in the 2 John 1 and 10 in NIV says, "If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not take them into your house or welcome them." Verse 11 says, "Anyone who welcomes them shares in their wicked works." You're not supposed to congregate with them, invite them over to barbecues, do unity camps with them, none of that shit. Okay? You get a quick precept on that. It says in Amos 3 and 3, "Can two walk together lest they be agreed?" Let me see. I believe it's 1 Thessalonians. So 5 and 14, I believe. Let me see. Yep. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 14 says, "Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men." That's actually not the one I was looking for. Let me see. Maybe it's 1 Timothy 5 and 14. That's not it. Let me see. Let me just type it in real quick. So it goes, let me see. Let me see. Yep. This is 2 Thessalonians 3 and 6. It says, "Now we command you, Akim, brethren, in the name of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us." That fetish that he was into, he can't say he learned that fetish from the apostles. That's a heathen custom that he was into. See? So we don't condone that shit, man. Especially, when he's been coming to us for supposedly being sexual demons, but he was guilty of it the whole time, man. You see? But we're not being brotherly. Let's call for a nationwide fast. Get the fuck out of here, man. And stop being impartial with judgment. I'm talking to you men, all right? You women, you're not in a position of judgment, rulership. It says in Proverbs 8 and 4, man. Grab that real quick. So we're supposed to separate our company. We're not supposed to keep company with the leaven of Jake, unless they prove otherwise. All right. Proverbs 8 and 4 says, and to you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men, which lines up with Deuteronomy 25 and 1. On what constitutes a judge, a righteous man of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Meshai. All right. So with that, All right, I'm going and continue. And Sirach 26 and 4. And it reads, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, as a good mind, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. So if you have a good heart in the Hebrew is la'ah, meaning mind. So if you have a good heart or mind toward the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, you're going to always rejoice with a cheerful countenance. Is this a cheerful countenance? So that further indicates his heart, his mind was not right with the Lord Yahweh Shemashai because his conscience was defiled, and that's why he ultimately stepped down, man. If you can't see that, it's because Yahweh Shemashai doesn't want you to see that. So this is Sirach 26 and 5. It says, there be three things that mine heart feareth, and for the fourth I was so afraid. The slander of a city. And you see some of you same Jakes are defending him, and these other wicked, leaders of the wayward camps of the circumcision have been guilty of this offense of slandering us, especially through false reports that are not true, that are baseless, through no substantial proof through the precepts. So it says, there be three things that mine heart feareth, and for the fourth I was so afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude. Okay? The gathering together of an unruly multitude and a false accusation. All of these are worse than death. I gotta read this again, man. For you reprobates out there who think it's cool or acceptable, okay, before Yahweh Shemashai to judge the righteous with impartiality, but acquit the wickedness of Jake. And I believe it's in Nahum 1 and 7 speaks about how the Lord Yahweh Shemashai does not at all acquit the wicked. This is why that man got exposed. All right. This is Sirach 26 and 5. It says, there be three things that mine heart feareth, and for the fourth I was so afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. You see? Bringing up a false accusation such as you're a rapist. That's worse than death, man. But see, when Yahweh Shemashai has a shoe, proverbially placed, the proverbial shoe placed on the foot, now you can't handle the heat because you're hypocrites, man. What it's saying in Proverbs 11 and 9, the hypocrite destroyeth his neighbor. See? This is, and Jacob been known to do that. This is Ezekiel 3, starting in verse 7. Says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Let's look up impudent. Matter of fact, let's get in the blue letter real quick. All right. All right, this is let me see. Get this word here. In Ezekiel 3 and 7 for impudent. And the entry there is H2389. And it says it's a Hebrew word kasap. Let me see let me see. Chawap. I believe that's how you say that. Chawap. All right, and which is a Hebrew word for impudent. It says loud, mighty, sore. Let's go ahead and look it up. Impudent. All right, not showing respect for another person, impertinent, or a synonym for that is insolent. See? So Jake, and that describes the people to a T. Jake is very impudent, very insolent. Okay, as it said here. Okay, not very disrespectful, not showing due respect, especially to the elders. It says in Sirach 7:29, reverence thy priests. But yet you have the man of the hour that's been exposed recently, that's been seen on footage, calling the apostles out their name, calling them niggas and pieces of shit and all kinds of madness. These are the same men that taught him. You see that? And Yahweh Shemashah doesn't take too kindly to those offenses. And this is why that man has been put on public display on not how to be and not how to conduct oneself. Because our people have always been in that spirit collectively, like them niggas in the wilderness during the time of the first Exodus. Despite that, that miracle, okay, that high miracle by way of divine intervention on behalf of Yahweh, splitting the seas and converting it to blood and allowing us to walk through the Red Sea, and then drown the Egyptian Hamites. Okay, that we were in captivity to was a miracle, man. But within the aftermath, you still had 2/3 niggas complaining. Okay, about them being hungry and shit. Neglecting the significance of that deliverance for that miracle by Yahweh, Abinah Yahweh. Ungrateful niggas, man. These are the traits and characteristics of Jake that become brute beasts. That's why they're not hearkening, man. It says in Isaiah 1:3, grab that real quick. All right. Isaiah 1:3. It said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass, as in donkey, his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. All right. So, this is going into the comparison and contrast, or contrast rather, or comparison and contrast of an animal, even an animal knowing or identifying their master, like a dog, for example. But yet Jake act like they don't know who their master is. So when they come against the doctrine, the sound doctrine, they're in that spirit. They can say Yahweh by Shem Shai all they want to the blue in the face. But as Yahweh said, not everyone that calls me Lord, Lord, will be saved, roughly paraphrasing. Okay? A lot of these Jakes are calling names Yahweh by Shem Shai that are wicked, will leaven in their soul, okay, will receive that harsh reality by Yahweh Shai himself. And it don't get no worse than that, man. That's why I did a lesson on that. With so many words entitled, the spiritual contrast of hearing the best words from the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and hearing the worst words from Yahweh Shai. And the best words from Yahweh Shai is, well done, my faithful servant. That's one of the fantasies with Elder Apostle Kabar, which I share, as I'm sure we all share, of the hopeful elect. And then the worst words that can be heard from Yahweh Shai is, depart from me, thou wicked servant. I never knew you. That's like old English translation. Get the fuck out of my face, you wicked nigga, you wicked bitch. So yeah, you see, with without the fear of the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Shai, Jake's not going to be in that mindset. Of considering what is pleasing before the Lord. So this is back in Ezekiel 3:7. It says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Okay, highly disrespectful, and hard-hearted, sottish, stupid. This Ezekiel 3:8 says, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. Verse 9 says, as an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. See, that lines up with 2nd Ezra 15:4. We're not supposed to worry about the incredulity as an unbelief of these Jakes, because they're coming from all angles, man, like rodents. You see. And it's all, and that's because Yahweh Shem Shai has ordained that. okay, to weed these wicked Israelites out, okay, by exposing their wicked mindset. This is 1 Timothy 5:20. 1 Timothy chapter 5:20. Okay, and it reads, "Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear." See, so by us rebuking this individual crying here for that wickedness, that great vile wickedness that he was brought up on charges for, okay, it is righteous. Okay, because that's uh integrated within the commandments of being a true watchman and not being impartial rather, Slakia, in righteous judgment, not showing any favoritism, no bias, just calling a spade, man. There's been time, there was a testimony by, one of the beloved elders, you know what I'm saying, that I tune into frequently, that mentioned how, he received counsel from Elder Paul Zahar to boot, a Jake or more Jakes that he thought was cool. But he didn't show any partiality in judgment or getting rid of those guys because, they were unprofitable to the body, whether they were slothful or unbrotherly or whatever the case may be. They were not fit for the body, so they got ousted. They got exiled from the body. And I'm sure that anytime a Jake has to do that, it's a tough decision. That's not an easy thing, man. To tell a Jake that you build a bond with that he can no longer be a part of the body. But see, we don't get it. We don't get emotions mixed up in it. We just do what we have to do. We're men. Because we're not impartial in judgment. And part of that, and that is of no exception when we publicly rebuke the wickedness of our people. No matter what kind of illustrious, preeminence they may seem to have, okay, within these camps. Nobody's above rebuke, man. Okay? Now there's levels to it. Okay? In terms of ensuring that we're moving in order when we rebuke the wickedness of our people, because we're this flesh, we're all naturally inclined to sin in this flesh. You see, but we don't. The difference between the hopeful elect and the wicked is that the hopeful elect does not willfully sin. Case in point. But I digress. This is 1 Timothy 5:20 again. Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear. This is the same precept that Tazariak used to rebuke Sarnetta for being out of order and being a busybody in other men's affairs. As it says, what's that? Romans. Okay. By calling himself using scriptures to justify Alazar's madness, man. Okay. So even Tazariak, rebuke that guy. Because he's not a double-minded man in the world. One foot in the world, one foot in the truth. Lukewarm. Yeah, even Hocab called that out earlier. You know what I'm saying? I was on the plant. I'm on the plantation clocked in. I'm listening to Hocab spill on Tazariak, essentially being guilty of what one of the offenses of the gorilla. Being a clout chaser. Going on these goddamn podcasts, man. Knowing good and goddamn well that, the pioneers or proprietors of those podcasts are wicked, like Sodom 22. Okay, pimping his wife out to other men, and himself being a mo. Because you have Israelites that are Israelite leaders going on his goddamn podcast and other podcasts, man, other wicked podcasts. Just in front of making a name for themselves, man. Going about, their own, going about to establish their own righteousness. Yet it says in Zephaniah, I believe Zephaniah 3:19, how the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai will give us that fame in due time. This is Esau's kingdom right now. It's really a queendom. So we're not to share the prosperity and preeminence with this devil. It's a contrary, man. But Jake don't know how to take the high road, so they end up doing some strange for a piece of change. They ended up taking that Judas purse. See, because they don't fear. So yes, they are to rebuke. They are to be rebuked before the body. This precept further solidifies, man. Okay, for the sheep to know what not to do. This is 2 Timothy 3 and 16 and 17. I'm gonna grab that. Let me see. What see what version we get that in. I believe maybe an NL. Let me see. You know what? I believe it's an NIV. 2 Timothy 3 and 16. Let me see. Salakia. 2 Timothy 3 and 16 NLT says, all scripture is inspired by the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shem Shai, and is useful to teach us what is true and make us realize what is wrong in our lives. There goes that word wrong again. It corrects us when we are wrong and teaches us to do what is right. The Most High God, Yahweh, by Shem Shai, uses it to prepare and equip his people to do every good work. Every good work. So when a work by a man, especially a man in a leadership position in Israel, is confirmed to not be good and is put on public display, to where it could it could be used to further potentially blame the ministry, and and so forth. It should be called out, man. It should be addressed through the scriptures, as these precepts further confirms, because the scriptures are the purifier. Without rebuke, you can't be exhorted. I mean, because before you can be comforted, you got to be torn down. So, in case of point, when an unruly child gets their ass whooped or disciplined by their parents, okay, they don't get whooped forever. They don't get disciplined forever, man. They get disciplined, okay, within that short time span for them to realize the error in their ways, and for them to correct that by vowing to never indulge in that wicked act ever again or face the consequences. That's why we have the word, okay? Acted out and distributed throughout the body of Israel by the judges of Israel, men who were being deemed worthy enough to be, set up as judges. Okay, set up to, to be trusted to defend the gospel, and that's what we're doing. We're defending the gospel. And anytime we defend the gospel, if you have a multitude of naysayers and gainsayers that comes against us, man. So this is Sirach 27 and 3. All right. Sirach 27 and 3. And it says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, his house shall soon be overthrown. And that is exactly what's happening to this man. It's just a matter of time before that camp just completely dismantles. The writing's on the wall. Like Elder Manat Zakbar pointed out in his very video, you have certain, certain Israelite leaders, like, this guy, they're going to look to secretly and even publicly recruit the men from this guy's camp, because it's all about quantity over quality with these wicked wolves in sheep's clothing of the circumcision ahead of these Israelite camps, because quantity, makes them further seem relevant, and prosperous, okay, and gives them more, social status and preeminence to the public. That would cause their name to hold more weight in a carnal sense. But the Lord, matter of fact, let me go and grab that. Okay, a good name is really a gift from the Lord to the righteous. This is Proverbs 22 and 1. It says, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. So you may be living in paycheck to paycheck, you know what I'm saying, impoverished, not rich at all, not carnally rich anyway. But if you have favor from on high, from Yahweh by Shemeshai, you don't get no greater than that. That's the greatest, that's part of the greatest abundance, the greatest riches, man. A lot of these jakes that sell out, especially those leadership positions and circumcision, like this guy, um, you know, immerse themselves in his truth for filthy lucre's sake. That's why this guy, admitted on camera, for making a strike in the media deal. That's why him and Tazariak were making money, have been making money off these debates. So Lord got tired of it. He got tired. He made a public example out of this man. It's not going to start. It's not going to stop with him. You're gonna this character on the screen here with the shades on is going to be exposed before it's all said and done. Bishop Nate would definitely be exposed, and all you other wayward, false prophets of these wayward camps. So this is because you're, as I said in Sirach 27:3, your household will soon be destroyed for your lack of fear in the Lord, man. Oh yeah, but yeah, we're balancing our judgment. Okay, when we rebuke Jake, is not with the intentions of hoping that he dies. That's a false accusation, man, and that's emotional. That's quite emotional, man. Okay, this is Proverbs 24 and 16. It says, "For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief." So if this man is righteous, he'll get back up. If not, then we already know what that means, according to this precept. That's the part of being tenderhearted. But it's a balance with it, man. We're not going to be gullible, naive, coming at wacky tacky, bugged out Christian spirit. You know what I'm saying? That Care Bear shit. You know what I'm saying? And advocate Esau's love, like Hocab did recently in his live, his live breakdown on the whole scandal thing with the gorilla. This is Proverbs 24 and 17. It says, "Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth." Verse 18 says, lest the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah see it and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Okay? So nothing for the Lord to see, a bunch of glee and joy, on behalf of Israelites of the circumcision towards other Israelites in the circumcision, okay, where the Lord can turn a wrath, from an individual, okay, that whose downfall was, collectively, upheld, basically wishing, that individual wouldn't, wouldn't have any salvation, be granted any salvation. That's wickedness. We don't wish that this dude doesn't get salvation. He's very charismatic, he's eloquent, but he went off, man, and he got caught, he got exposed for going off in a major way. So we've been rebuking this guy for 10 to 15 years now, if not longer than that. About 10, 15 years. Okay? As long as I've been around, I've been seeing this guy get rebuked. And now, as they say in the world, the roosters finally came home to the however that saying goes, man. I know I'm butchering it. The roosters came home to how the fuck it goes, man. You know what I'm talking about. Slovakia. But Slovakia. But anyway, I'm gonna continue. Zephaniah 3 and 5. Because ultimately it's Yahweh by Shemeshai that's the ultimate judge. So it's up to him. This is it's up to him whether or not he grants salvation to an individual. And this is Zephaniah 3 and 5. It says, "The just Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. It says, he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame." And that saying that I was thinking about is the roosters come home to oh man, it was on the tip of my tongue too. Yeah. The roosters come home to roost. Saying so. Meaning what? What's inevitable is to be manifested, and that includes the judgment the Lord brings forth every morning, failing not. Why? Because He unjust knoweth no shame. That's why people die. People are dying every single day, man. And the intensity of the judgments are, the judgments and the manner of judgments are intensifying. Okay, because evil men know not judgment. That's why they're compelled to do evil, because they don't think there's going to be recompense. Okay, this is Jeremiah 7:16. This is Jeremiah chapter 7 and verse 16. All right, it reads, Therefore pray not thou for this people. Salakia. We're gonna grab a quick drink. Grab a good quick drink of the shataya, a drink or beverage. It says in Jeremiah 7:16, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me. For I will not hear thee. What is intercession? Just look it up. All right. Intercession is defined as the action of intervening on behalf of another. And this is exactly what this nationwide fast was called by Naquam. See? Can't make this shit up, man. In this case, not shit, Salakia, for the expression. But back in Jeremiah 7:16, says, therefore pray not thou for this people. This was a commandment by the Heavenly Father. Don't pray for these willful sinners, these repeated offenders. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me. For I will not hear thee. The Lord Yahweh Shemeshah will not accept your vain oblations and sacrifices. Okay, as as a part of these intercessions, these different manners of intervening within His judgment. So so this whole call for nationwide fast is of no exception of these vain intercessions. Okay, or way of intervening to the Lord's judgment. This nationwide fast is another way of intervening within the judgment of this guy. Okay, the gorilla specifically. All right, so this is Proverbs 28:19. Proverbs chapter 28. It might be verse 9 actually. Let me see. Salakia. Yeah, Proverbs 28:9. And it reads, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. So my question to all you reprobates in Israel, coming against us for rebuking this guy openly for the wickedness, the vile wickedness that he's that he's been brought up on charges for, do at least two witnesses is that vile act that he was brought up on charges for by those two to 2 plus witnesses wicked and righteous according to the law. Now he understands that vile act was not lawful. That's why he was crying. Because it doesn't feel good when you're rebuked openly, but it's just happened. It's happened to him. Okay, so what he did, that act was unlawful. So the scripture says what it says. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. That's plain, man. You reprobates can't get over that. This is you can't get around that. Rather, this is Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 8. All right, it says, remember this, and shew yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. See, we're supposed to acknowledge our sins because a man that does that, a man that does that shows himself to be a man, not a little fucking coward or a little boy, man. Okay. Case in point. Hosea 5:15 speaks about us acknowledging our offenses, lest the Lord turn his back on us. That's why the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai accepted King David's prayer when he went off and set up Uriah, the Hittite, to be put to death, so King David could take his woman, committing two sins, murder and adultery. But yet the Heavenly Father Yahweh still forgave him because King David's conscience was clear. That's why his prayer was deemed to be sincere. And not everyone is King David, man. You have a lot of jakes that use that account to defend this guy, especially women, by saying, "Oh, well, King David repented." So when you say that, as I said in the first installment, when Jake says that, that's their way of tempting the Lord and condoning and endorsing men that have, that have been called out for wickedness, to also tempt the Lord, because evil men understand not judgment. So this is you see, I quoted it earlier. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to bring it back out. 1 Corinthians 11 and 13. It says, judge. Let me see. That's not it. Let me see. Salakia. 13 and 13, 11. Salakia. 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, including not holding yourself accountable for doing fuck shit, man. Wickedness, transgressions against the law, statutes, commandments. You see? That's when the Lord deems one to be a man. The forefather Mattathias had mentioned in, I believe it's 1 Maccabees 2 and 64, how he mentioned, a plethora of righteous, noble Israelite men that were considered the apple of the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai's heart because they showed themselves to be men. And there's no greater example than Yahushua. They don't get any more manly than that. So to go through all that torment in the flesh and to accept it, and that's a prime example of how it to be. You see, to not only rehearse the righteous law, such commandments to the best of our ability, but to showcase the fruits of the spirit, man, by watching how we move, by watching how we live and conduct ourselves within the confinement of the law. Okay, so this is 1 Kings chapter 2, and I'm starting at verse 2. It reads, I go the way of the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a man. Okay, it says, and keep the charge of the Lord, Yahweh, by Shemeshai thy power, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest. And whithersoever thou turnest thyself. Okay, so in order for us to prosper in our ways, within our walk, in this thing of ours, you're supposed to walk in the ways of the Lord, the ways of the ancient. It just says in Jeremiah 6 and 16. Okay, but walking that straight and narrow gate of righteousness, okay, by acknowledging and performing what the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah commanded us to do. to the best of our ability in His flesh. Okay, because as it says here, it is written in the law of Moses, we would prosper if we did all the Lord commanded, with no rebellion and just obedience. It says in First Kings 2:4, it says that the Lord Yahweh by Shemashai may continue His word, which He spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart, as in all their mind, and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, said He, a man on the throne of Israel. So in order to be permitted or to be deemed worthy enough to sit on, one of the holy thrones of Israel, judging the nation of Israel, okay, under Yahweh Shai and King David, you know what I'm saying? And we would have to, we would have to live this truth, not just speak about it, as it says in St. James, the first chapter. That's what would deem a hopeful elect man, the Lord, to sit on one of the thrones of Israel and judge the nation of Israel in righteousness. Otherwise, these Israelite men who would not follow this counsel of doing so would not have that luxury of sitting on one of the thrones of Israel. So why would you want to be a mediocre Israelite in the kingdom? See, it's not up to us anyway, because everyone's fate was already preordained to be written in the book of life. I mean, to be written, whether their names would be written in the book of life or for salvation, or to be written in the earth for damnation. So once again, man, this is a terrible thing that falls in the hands of living power, and through the terror of the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai, we persuade men, because we want to get the hell out of here. Okay. There's so much to go into, especially in prophecy. So as the Quam said, there's no time for the unfruitful works of darkness. He directed that towards us, but really he's projecting that, man, towards his own camp and these other wayward, wicked wayward camps, including these little, t-shirt wearing camps, man. A lot of them are not looking to sit on the thrones of righteousness in the kingdom of heaven, because of the unfruitful works of darkness. Read this again, 1 Kings 2:4, that the Lord Yahweh by Shemashai may continue His word, which He spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to the way to walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, said He, a man on the throne of Israel. See, and this is part of that endurance, enduring to the end, and resisting the temptations, the wicked temptations of this world, man. Okay, so I'm going to end it off on that note. Me too, the beloved brother Isaiah put, going to make sure to eat big meal that day. Yeah, echoing what Elder Apostle Kabar has said about how, we're going to eat a big ass, Elder Apostle Kabar said, hey, man, I'll make sure to eat a big ass steak on March 9th within that wicked ass vain fast that the Quam called for. And I'm planning to do the same. And drink some yayan, and what I'm saying, and so forth. Hey, man, but that's it, man. Get the water for tuning in, man. It's, staying up with me this late, and putting up the offerings on the mazabak, being an altar through a common board, through these precepts, and skillfully adding. And pray this lesson was for the edifying his order to elect. All right. So we give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Kodash. All right. Just our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. All right. And with that, once again, I'm going to utter my Shana, Kabawadium, Laha Sequanium, Shal, Galawaraka, many double honors to the apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, and Shalom, honor salutations to Bayah Shedawada, the house of David, being the 144,000 elected governing body of the house of David, along with the rest of 1/3 elected men, women, and children of Israel. All right. So with that, Shabbat Shalom, Labachayim, Shal, Bayah Shedawada, Shah Yasharala, meaning peace to the elect, all right, on the holy Shabbat of the house of David, of the nation of Israel. All right. Yahweh by Shem and Shabbat Thumb, and on to the next one.